A very good morning to all. In the last class, we discussed the rules of nomenclature. Its first parts like ranks of taxa, role of priority, then the valid and effective publications, the various rules. You are now thorough regarding these rules. Okay, now let us pass on to the remaining part, that is retention, choice and rejection of names. Okay, now you know how to publish. When you are going to publish a new species or new taxon, you know the conditions for valid and effective publications. And also some more points you have to add in that, that is retention of names. So there are specific conditions for retention of names. What are they? When a genus divides into two or more genera, the generic name must be retained for one of them. Clear? So genus divided two or more, generic name must be retained in one of them. Same way, when a species is divided into two or more, the specific epithet must be retained in one of them. Clear? Okay. So see one example, Saponaria vaccaria, when transferred to Gysophila. Gysophila, what is the condition? See, Gysophila vaccaria means the name here, the vaccaria is retained here. That is known as retention. Okay, so when it is divided or when it is transferred to, the first one should be a part or one of them should be, it should be retained in one of the new species or genera. Clear? Now, when a species divided two or more, specific epithet must be retained. If it has not been retained, it must be reinstated. Means what? The first position itself is established. If it is not retained, its first position is established and means no new name should be given. Okay. When a species transferred from one genus to another genus or another placed, generic name also must be retained there. Okay. Now, if specific epithet must be retained or not, you can reinstate it. Means you can accept the first position or first name itself. Clear? Then, but care should be taken if the changing new name should not be a homonym or it should not be a tautonym. Okay, and should wait for obtaining a legitimate specific epithet. So that should be very important. Okay. Example, Uvaria longifolia is transferred to Polyalthia. How it become Polyalthia longifolia? See, so what is maintained here? This specific epithet is maintained here. Uvaria longifolia become Polyalthia. This longifolia, the specific epithet is retained here. That is a retention of name. Okay. Now, second part is choice of name. How you will select. When two or more taxa of same rank, two or more taxa are united, the oldest legitimate name is retained. Clear? That is the choice select. Example, Schumann uniting three genera, Solania, Echinocarpus, Phenicosperma. So, and united and into a single one, which one will be selected? The oldest one. That is what? Solania, published in 1753. So, that is the oldest legitimate name is retained. So, you have the right to choice or select the oldest legitimate name. Clear? Okay. So, when we are united, 3 into 1. Okay. Now, another third category is rejection. So, when you will reject a name. So, you cannot reject a name merely. Simply, you are no right to reject a name. But it should need some specific reasons why you are going to reject it. So, for example, if the specific epithet or generic epithet is not appropriate, if that is inappropriate, you can reject it. If another is preferable or better known, better name is not available, better name, another is a preferable or better known. So, then you can reject a new one obtained, then first one you can reject it. Then if it lost its meaning. So, usually some names are given, it contains certain meaning. So, if such a meaning is lost, you can, for example, Scilla peruviana, not to be rejected merely, simply you cannot reject because species not growing in Peru. So, peruviana, the term, that's why. So, you cannot reject it merely, but you have to check it, and if it is relevant, then only you can reject it. So, there are the conditions, that are some cases where we are merely reject a name. Okay. Then this is very important. When a name is illegitimate and must be rejected when it was nomenclaturally superfluous, means what is the condition of superfluous? Having same names. For example, Eleodendron is illegitimate because it was a superfluous name for casein. So both are same. So in another name given to one same genera. So published later he published. So this one that later published 1782. First it is 1753. So this one have to be rejected. This one have to be accepted. So a name is illegitimate and rejected if it is a later homonym. Means it's a later homonym means there is one character name. That is very important. Different plants with the same name, homonym, or same plant with a different name. So this is the same plant, superfluous, same plant but with a different name. So which one you will select? The first published one you will select. Validly published first legitimate name is selected because both are same but not by different names. Okay. Another condition, later homonym. What is homonym? Here opposite of superfluous. Superfluous is same plant but different name. What is here homonym? Actually different plants but same name. See, same plant different name, different plant same name. Same plant different name is superfluous, different plant same name is homonym. Clear? So both you have to differentiate. Clear? Example, the name Benalia given to a genus of Amaranthaceae. See, another name Benalia for plant in Euphorbiaceae. Clear? So which one have to be rejected? Benalia mook rejected. It is renamed later as Indo-Benalia. But both are different plant but name is same, that is homonym. So you have to select the first one, Benalia 1840. It is published in Benalia in 1840. So this name and this plant no change. But this is published after Benalia mook. So that should be changed. That should be renamed and it is Indo-Benalia. So conditions same plant, different name, different plant same name. So superfluous names and homonyms. So have to be corrected. Legitimate one should be accepted and another one should be rejected. This is also very important. Then another important part or appendices coming under this is nomen nudum in the rule. What are these? It is contrary to Article 38, published. Those names published without an accompanying description is known as what? Nomen nudum. Okay. We know for an effective and valid publication there need what? A clear-cut description. Okay. But if there is no such a clear-cut description with the taxa, you have to reject it. Okay. Such names are published as nomen nudum. They are illegitimate names. They have to be rejected unless validated by description. So many names in Hortus bengalensis is like nomen nudum. Okay. Another one is nomina specifica conservanda. What is this? This is first introduced in Berlin Congress. Names of species conserved against rule of priority. Clear? I already discussed some of the family names that are conserved like this, like Astraceae with the Compositae, Appiaceae with Umbelliferae, Lamiaceae, Labiatae. So because they are widely used and diverse. Here these names should be considered because they are used for a quite long time. If any change may result in confusion. So that is nomina specifica conservanda. Understood? Okay. So up to this we finish the retention, choice and rejection. And another important rule of ICVN is what? Typification. So you know now in the valid and effective publication now you are familiar with the term type. Those description without a type is invalid or illegitimate. Okay. So type is very important. The element or the constituent upon which the taxon is described is actually what? Type. That's known as a nomenclature type. So the name of the taxon is permanently attached. Okay. So this is very important, typification. So what are the different types? First one is holotype. So you know now you are going to describe an example, going to release or describe a new taxon or a new species. what are the steps you should follow. That some you studied, you have to follow rule of priority, ranks of taxa, effective and valid publication. So in that, you have to describe it by a type. Clear? So the specimen taken by the original author designated as a type is the holotype. So author designated the specimen or illustration used by the author as the nomenclatural type is known as what? Holotype. So he will collect plants, for description. So his collection, original collection, his first gathering, a single gathering. For example, plucking the twigs from a single branch or from a single herb plant. That collection is the actual gathering, the first single gathering. So from that he will select one, and that is designated as holotype. Clear? And all the remaining collections in the single gathering is known as what? Isotype. So for example, if he collected 5 specimens and prepared herbarium, from which one is what? Holotype, and the remaining 4 are isotype. So duplicates of the holotype are called what? Isotype. So I hope you cleared holotype and isotype. So original author designating the original material upon which he describes the species or taxa is known as what? Holotype, and its duplicates are known as what? Isotype. Clear? Okay. Now this is the photograph of a type specimen herbarium. Okay, its details is attached here. Okay, see, this is another one. So based on this, the author describes. Now, third one is paratype. A specimen cited other than holotype are known as isotype or syntype. Other than holotype, he also designated some type, that is known as paratype. Okay, so a taxon described based on more than one gathering. So we took one single collection, its material as holotype, and also he had some more other collections from some other places. That is from which he took one as designated as type is known as what? Paratype, and its duplicates are known as what? Isoparatypes. So other than holotypes, his other gatherings or collection from which one he selected, that is a paratype. Its duplicates are known as what? Isoparatypes. Okay. Then what is syntypes? Any specimen cited by the author when there is no holotype. Okay. Or any one of 2 or more specimens simultaneously designated as types. So any specimen when there is no holotype, then he can select 1 or 2 material, a combination, that is known as what? Syntype. Its duplicates are isosyntype. Then lectotype. When an author not designated a type or a holotype, then the subsequent authors who describe it again will designate a material as a type. He can select it from the specimen collected by the original author, or somewhere else from isotype or syntype or etc. He can take one and designate it as type. That is known as what? Lectotype. Means original author is not designated a type. So the subsequent authors will designate a type. That is one lectotype. So lectotype is taken from a syntype, then he call it as lectotypification. Clear? Now, next is neotype. Means a specimen or illustration, nothing for, or a no holotype, nothing left for designated by the original author, that is everything missing, then the new author will designate a new material, that is known as what? Neotype. So nothing left or nothing associated with the material. Then the new author will select one as specimen or illustration as type, that is known as neotype. Clear? Epitype is what? When all these above mentioned type is of vague or not clear, then an author can select a type for interpretation only. That is known as what? Epitype. Okay. So holotype is the original one. Its duplicates are holotype is original one. Its duplicate are isotypes. See. Then paratypes specimen cited other than holotype from other collection or other gathering. Its duplicates isoparatype. Syntype is any specimen. That may be a material contain one or two types. That is syntype. Lectotype, a new type selected by a subsequent author. It may be from a syntype or it may be from an isotype. Okay. Then neotype means if any type is left, everything lost. So a specimen is selected by the author, that is neotype. Clear? Epitype is if all the types are vague or not clear, an author can select a new one or illustration or any specimen for or interpretation, that is epitype. Okay. Now holotype, isotype is the picture for type. Then what the term protologue? Publication in which name published. Okay. That is known as what? Protologue. The nomen novum is new name published for an older name. That is nomen novum. What is basionym? This is a older name. Actually based on which new name published. Older name based on which new name published. That is what? Basionym. Clear? Okay. Now, how you can name a hybrid? That is also a brief account required. So, validly published hybrid names are mentioned by the simple what? X into. Okay. And it should not be italicized. So, hybrids you know how it is formed by crossing of two parents. Clear? So, it actually designates the crossing signal. Okay. At the generic level written into immediately after generic name, if species level into after species name. Example, Quercus demi. Into demi is a new hybrid. What are the parents? Quercus macrocappa into Quercus muhlenbergii is the hybrid. So, into mark is important. Okay. Now, same subspecific and varietal name. What is subspecies and variety? First and second division of species. So, grouping within the species. Okay. To describe geographically isolated variants. Same species growing in different conditions may show some variations. That is known as subspecies. And category above variety, it is also category above the variety and it is indicated by abbreviation subspecies, SUB-SP. Okay. Below the level of subspecies is the variety that you can have designated as VAR, variety. Okay. And very important, these subspecies, variety, everything is not to be in italicized. Okay. Now, variety name, subspecies name when you are writing, very important, you have to remember the point. If the variety name or subspecies name is same as that of specific epithet, okay, known as typical expression, the authority is included after species name. See here one example, Cornus sericea. Here subspecies is also what? Sericea. So, author name is written after species name. Clear? Because subspecies name is also same as species name. So, author name abbreviation written after subspecies name, after original species name. Clear? Okay. Now, if it is variety name is entirely different from species name, how you will write it? See, Cornus sericea L, subspecies name is occidentalis, it is differ from species name. So, you can write its authors in followed by the subspecies name. So, this author is also written here because the species name and subspecies name are entirely different. If it is same, the author name is written together with the species name. But if it is different, author name follows the subspecies name. So, that is also very important. Clear? Now, another naming is of cultivars, plant cultivar. What is a cultivar? It is a taxon selected or it is by combination of attributes. It may be by mutation breeding, polyploidy breeding, tissue culture, clones, chimeras. So, they are all what? Cultivars. So, word variety and form are not synonyms. So, we have to remember it. Variety and form are not synonym to the word cultivar. They are all different. Clear? How it is named? Cultivar epithets, while writing you have to remember, no need to write in Latin. It should be in common English language and also no need to italicize. And a cultivar epithet may not contain, the cultivar epithet may not contain what? The examples of proper method. Cultivar's name, last sentence, one more point, may not contain punctuations, comma, exclamatory mark, etc. Should not contain all these. Clear? So it should be repeated within a genus, species or denomination, class, grouping of similar genera, etc. May not be repeated, and it should not be contain any punctuation mark, exclamation mark, etc. Should not be in Latin. It should be in simple English language. Clear? See. Example, Spartina patens, sharp. This is the cultivar name. Panicum virgatum, Cavin rock. It is the cultivar name. You can write in what? In this quotation. You can write. Okay, but no hyphen, nothing other name, nothing required. Clear? This is well the pattern of writing cultivar name. Okay. So I hope understood well. So what we discussed today is retention, choice and rejection of names. Then what is type? What are the different types of types? Then how can you write a hybrid name? How can you write a variety name, subspecies name and cultivar's name? That is a brief account is required. So very important part we discussed today. So study well. Have a nice day. Thank you.